Hello my friends, and welcome back to another flower letter. This is our last flower letter of the year, guys. This is number 24. So we know that Charlie is safe and sound. We know that he wrote Audrey telling her all about his time when he was fighting in the war. We know that he did save his dad, who turned out to be Lionheart. We do know that sadly Fairbanks has passed away, which was very sad indeed. But I am happy to hear that Charlie is great. Him and Audrey, I hope, will be having a happy ending. So let's open this letter and let's find out, guys. Okay. Oh, look how cute, guys. It looks like a little card. Let's see. I don't know if I want to read it just yet, but I am going to set it aside. It looks like we have a little picture of a baby. That's cute. And then we have a postcard with the house on it. That is super, super cute. Very pretty. I love the fence in the front here with the flowers. I love that. It says the end. So, okay, let's see what the letter is right quick. Okay, so we got 2 pages, it looks like. October 28th, 1945. Dearest Ruby, I can't stand it a moment longer. When are you coming home to me at last? The war has been over for months now. Can't you take pity on your poor sister's heart and let someone else be the good Samaritan for a while? You've been away for far too long. If it turns out that Captain Jack has been keeping you from me on purpose, tell him he will have a lot to answer to, and none of the Raven reports I've heard about him from so many will do him a bit of good when we finally meet face to face. Alright, I'm teasing, I guess. But truly, I miss you something awful. We're also terribly proud of you, though, darling. Knowing your gentle heart as I do, I couldn't expect anything less of you than to stay behind and help as many of our wounded soldiers as possible make it safely home. Charlie swears by your extra special knack of helping wounded minds and bodies heal faster. And for that, I'm eternally grateful, and I'll forgive you for anything. But this agonizingly prolonged separation, it has kept you from me for far too long. Shouldn't you have enough points to come home by now? Or do Army nurses even have dispatching points? If not, I'll be speaking to the general about it right away. You should have thousands by now for all the lives you've helped save. Of course, I know it doesn't quite work that way, and all this talk of points bringing you home is utterly useless. The general already told me he arranged for you to come home in June, but you refused. I can't say I blame you. After seeing so much death and killing for the past 5 years, it must be a relief to be a part of the healing side of things. But please, Ruby, don't stay away too much longer. Little Win has yet to meet his auntie, and he's growing like a weed. That's right, Charlie and I decided to name our son Winslow. I'll add a birth announcement for you to keep in that keepsake box of yours. Winslow is for Captain Fairbanks, Charlie told you all about. My father-in-law refused to let us add Henry as a second middle name. He just laughed his boisterous laugh and said, "Give the little lad a chance, won't you? He's already got enough to live up to." If I didn't love and respect Charlie's father as much as I do, I would have insisted, but as it is, I suppose he's right. Being named after 2 war heroes is a lot to put on such a tiny shoulders. But they won't be tiny for long. Wynn takes after his daddy and granddaddy, Birkin size, and now that I think about it, he's also going to carry on the Burke surname. I can cover myself in knowing we've at least honored Hank Lionheart Burke in that way. As far as Charlie, well, Charlie is just as wonderful as ever. He and his father recently finished building our beautiful new home. We were able to move in just before Wynn made his debate. I was happy to stay in Boston where Charlie grew up, but Charlie, the dear man, insisted we build our home here so I could be near Berkeley when the time comes to finish my graduate program. He likes the weather out here as well, and his injuries don't seem to bother him so much in the milder climate. As a matter of fact, most of the time he's on his feet and at full strength, as though no bullet ever passed through him. The scars will always be there, though. They will always remind me of how close I came to losing my sweetheart. I'm so glad it was you that was there to care for him, darling. I couldn't ask for anyone better. After Charlie and I moved to the West Coast, Hank and Grace decided to follow us. Hank wanted to make up for lost time with Charlie, and both he and Grace wanted to be close to when he came. It's been wonderful to have them here. The General has even moved to Santa Clara to be closer. I think the war has made us all a little more tender toward home and family than before. Once you and Jack come home, we will simply be heaven on earth here. I can't think of anything better than for Wynn to grow up surrounded by family. As the other news you've missed since I last wrote, Janie Alkerman was married last week to Sam Gabler. We always know those two would end up together, didn't we? That is, if he managed to make it home from the war. No one bothers much with over-the-top weddings these days, but you have hardly noticed. The two lovebirds was simply beaming with love. If only the same were true for Alice and Catherine Jerkins. I don't know if you heard about General Farnsworth and Jimmy Reed. They both shipped out to Japan in '43, but neither made it to the VJ Day. I was visiting the girls over in Coronado, helping the General get ready to set our home in San Diego, when Alice received the news about Gerald. My heart broke for her, and I couldn't help putting myself in her shoes. How different my life would have been now if Charlie hadn't made it. It's hard to be as happy and fortunate as I am and not feel a little guilty. So many of our friends have lost husbands and beaux. So many are trying to figure out how to move forward amidst the shambles of shattered hopes and dreams. If only they all moved forward with the same tenacity as Helen Ulrich. You remember Helen. She owns the bakery. Anyway, she lost 3 of her 6 sons during D-Day alone, and another 6 shot down over Germany just days before VE Day. I ran into her on the pier around the same time I was helping the General move. We had a good long chat, like old times, and it wasn't long before she finally opened up about her sons. When I asked her if she was angry, if she felt there could have been more done to save at least 1 or 2 of their lives, she simply shrugged and then quoted Winston Churchill. "If we open a quarrel between past and present, we shall find that we have lost the future. I have no quarrel with the past, Miss Audrey," she said. "My boys fought and died for the good Lord and their country, and a mother can't ask for finer sons than that. Anything that could have or should have been done better wasn't in the cards. Now it's left to me to honor their memory by moving toward the future they fought for. That woman is golden, Ruby. She always tells me with so much hope and determination to be a better person, just like you do. So come home." Now to answer those fears you expressed in your last letter concerning the future of our brave new world. As Shakespeare's Miranda put it, I can only say that you aren't alone, darling. I don't know what the consequences of unleashing the likes of Little Boy and Fat Man into the world will be. I don't know if dropping them is necessary to win the war, and even though a convincing amount of evidence points in that direction, I don't even know if the Germans would have gotten there before us, and had we not tried to desperately win the race, who can really know the answer to any of the questions but God alone? There will undoubtedly be devised options on the matter, and various judgments cast upon us all. There already are, but I hope that in expressing those opinions and judgments, mankind, particularly our children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren, won't judge us too harshly. I hope they will recognize that the decisions we made were not lightly. They were made by war, generations desperate to preserve the very freedoms that would allow their children to voice their judgments and decisive opinions without fear of the dictatorial relations and the tyrannical expressions. I hope the future will extend mercy and realize we did the very best we could with the limited knowledge and understanding we have of what we were actually dealing with. More than anything, I hope they will learn from our mistakes, build upon the wisdom we have gained, and then with the same freedom, loving, do definitely better than we have done to preserve the same liberty for their own posterity. In short, I hope they'll take the counsel from Mr. Churchill and won't waste precious time quarreling with the past so they end up separating their future. Instead, I hope they would use their energy to create a better, freer world than the one we have created for them. The General and I have spoken often about the responsibilities of freedom, how striving to preserve and pass that responsibility on to the next generation can often feel hopeless in such an imperfect, unjust world. But he always reminds me of what Mama used to say when someone treated her cruelly because of the color of her skin. It's not what we currently are as a nation that matters so much. We used to say, it's what we have the potential to become. I suppose what she meant by that is if we see ourselves in others as we could be, and then deep striving for it, then yes, we will stumble and fall along the way. We will make mistakes, but eventually we will reach that potential. We owe it to the shoulders we stand on, the lives freely given, and the blood willingly spilt, to keep reaching for that ideal of the founding fathers and mothers set before us. So my advice to you, dear Ruby, is to not waste time quarreling with the past any more than is necessary to ensure the brighter future. Instead, keep reaching, keep healing, and hoping, and helping for what we can become. As far as me today, I'm as satisfied and so very grateful we have preserved the freedom to strive for that better, braver, freer world. Charlie, Little Win, and I send our love to you and Jack. All my love and a kiss, Audrey Rose. P.S. Before Win arrived last month, when I was too uncomfortable to do anything else, I pulled out some of Mama's prints. I wanted to capture our new home for you. It's not nearly as good as what Mama would have painted, but I hope it's good enough to tempt you to come home to me sooner. Whenever that time may be, I want you to know there will always be a place for you and Jack here. Then, when you're here, safe and sound, we will finally celebrate in earnest the end of this dreadful war. I want you guys to look at this. I love how this letter, like, it's just got these big flowers here. I just love how it covers this letter. That is so beautiful. Okay, so let's get back to this. So we did already see the picture of the baby. So let's see the back of it. It says Winshaw Burke, 4 months old, October 1945. Then, of course, we had the house that I showed you guys earlier, and on the back of it, it says the end. This letter concludes the Audrey Rose collection. We hope you have enjoyed this unique storytelling experience. If you're interested in trying out one of our other story collections, please visit their website, theflowerletters.com. Which I already have, guys, and I've already got my new subscription. I've actually already got 1 or 2 letters, but I haven't started them yet. I'm going to be really, really excited to start them soon. Then we have this, and this was a beautiful, I love how they put the little carriage on there, and it's one of the old-fashioned ones. I love that. And then on the inside here, it just says, "Isn't he the most adorable hunk of baby you've ever seen, Ruby? I was smitten from the moment I laid eyes on him. XOXOXOXO." It says, "Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Charles Henderson Burke, are pleased to announce the arrival of their son, Winshaw Burke, born July 2nd, 1945. Weight was 9 pounds, 10 ounces. Length was 18.5 inches. Hair color is red. Eye color is blue. Disposition, absolutely adorable." That's cute. So I really love that. That is a great ending, guys. I love that it was a happy ending. I love the speech that she had in that letter. I love how cute the letter was. I loved all the extra stuff that I got in it. I love the little clues that we got and the little puzzles to solve. I absolutely love this letter. I can't wait to get started on the next one. I hope you guys are kind of excited. I kind of like getting them in the mail, and it's exciting, and it's just something different to read. I really love them, and I hope you guys are just as excited. So I will see you guys back here in the new year with the next flower letter, and I will reveal to you guys which one it was that I chose. So I will see you guys then. Bye!